Hello everyone and welcome to another StarCraft 2 replay casted by me, Welicious. We'll figure it out. There we go. And today we're playing on... I know this map. It's called something Ellie. Fuck. Terraform Ellie. There we go. And up in the top left we have our red Terran player called Twine from... I have no idea who that is or what he is about. And in the bottom right we have our blue Zerg player, eLazer? I have no idea who he is. Anyway, judging by these little logos here, they're kind of a big deal. I'm sure they're part of some extravagant team, and their skill level must be a little better than mine. So, in regards to this map, what do we know from this? From looking up here, well, there is a surprising amount of space behind the mineral line here for a little bit of harassment. However, the borders around the edge are not so wide, so, I mean, although you could stick a little drop up in the corner here, like always in any map, along the sides, I mean, a simple missile turret right there would sort you out. That would be very good. And let's check out to see what expansions we have. So, very small choke point up into the main here. We have Twine starting off with barracks, real super standard stuff. Nothing too ridiculously crazy. Some gas going in as well, so might see a Reaper from that, or some kind of crazy tech lab. I'm not so sure, but I will definitely put my money on that of a Reaper. Wow, yes, this is kind of like the old school maps I'm used to, with the easy expansion right here into your second. Still very difficult to get to the left, to the far left side of your base. If you wanted to come in from the lower half or from up top, you're gonna struggle a bit. Anyway, from here, from your natural up into the third, I like this here. Like here, you've got your base that can go down here. You might not want to put your third here, I'm not so sure, but it's very nice from this cliff edge. Just drop down with some units, fly over, and take care of business. But the crystals, if you mine them out, they will leave you open. So things that I have seen in the past are bunkers, such as some barracks and supply depots. You can tell I'm a Terran player, to just cover your ass with that. Overlord placement, might lose it. Might lose it to a simple marine. Here comes the Reaper. There you are. Good to see you, bud. And that Overlord is going to go and poke further in for that scouting. So perhaps eLazer isn't too worried about losing him, or he's just confident at the early stage of the game. And I just heard a Facebook notification. If you did hear that, I'm sorry, you don't need to check your feed, although you probably will do anyway. Anyway, yes. Oh, and there we go, cancelling with the natural. I don't know why you would do that. Anyway, the Reaper is coming in and he is taking damage. He's going to get poked by the Queen as well, and he got slapped around by some Zerglings. So what did you see? What did you see? We saw nothing too fancy. We saw the first gas down from eLazer. So, I mean, what could Twine take from that? His opponent has gas. So, is it... It's not even being mined from right now, so I wouldn't... Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was going to say Zergling boost. Does that cost gas? Does that cost gas? I should really know these things. Anyway, something I should really mention is that I did used to shoutcast these videos a long time ago. Here come the little Zerglings. They'll get their meta boost halfway across the map. But I took a break. I took a break from it and I decided to go abroad and do a few things. But I found myself playing games in Starbucks, like not to plug them, but in your generic local coffee store. And I would strafe jump in that store and become quite a nuisance, because I would only go in there for the internet really. But anyway, Zerglings are gonna get denied from the other two Reapers. So I believe we have what? We have two Reapers on the field. Am I right? I'm not sure. But anyway, checking out the production tab. The natural will be looking to touch down super soon with these Lurgans. So, with these Zerglings. How's he going to do that? How's he going to lift off and get down here without losing too many of these units, especially with that meta boost? The Zerglings will be off creep, of course, so I don't know if that's quick enough to catch up with these guys. The Hellions will certainly take care of business. That's the way you deal with it, guys. Hellions against Zerglings. Tasty. Very, very tasty indeed. Yeah, in regards of the quality and incredible awesomeness of my replays, the knowledge is something that I'm certainly building up, and that if you want to stick with me along my journey, you're most welcome to, and assist You can also assist and improve with my casting. It'd be really nice. It'd be really cool. But anyway, the expansion is indeed down. We have this Overlord here. What can he see? He can just see a little bit over here. Maybe if one gas decides to go down, that would be good enough. But then again, doesn't really matter that point. By that point, we're still on one gas, so eLazer is actually supply blocked at this point as well. The third coming up right on 7 minutes 30 blizzard time. Oh, maybe a little early, maybe more towards the 7-minute mark. This expansion going down, and there is indeed some movement over by Twine. I like these units. I really like these units here. The Hellion Reaper composition is really nice to see. It's certainly going to be very fast to deal with the Zerglings. That's going to be a lot of DPS that's going out towards these tiny little creatures, and it might deny the third. You could. I dare say you could. But anyway, no, we're going to focus more on these queens. And he's going to burn one down. 1, 2, 3 queens. One's ready and willing to get over to this third. And this attack here from Twine has become a huge pain in the butt, as it's not allowing eLazer to have the comfortable expansion he really wants. You know, he really just wants to ease into it and plop it down, get his workers going. And I don't want to say so much make a big blob of death to win, because Zerg is a little better than that. We're not smelly Protoss players. We like to have a little bit of finesse here with our units, a little bit of pride with our strategy. So I'm surprised that Overlord, that's good. What can he see? He can see these Hellions running back, so that's going to allow eLazer, our Zerg player, to relax a little bit, just a little bit, and he probably wants to get prepped for the next onslaught, which will probably come in a few seconds, as these mules that have been plopped down will certainly stack the resources for our Terrans. Are we going to see anything silly as a starport? Will I see... Wow. Will I see any Ghost Academy? So what I just thought is, even though this is quite... I mean, I regard this as quite a small map. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is a small to medium-sized map, so I was expecting some intensive micro action. But when I start seeing like fourths going down around the 10-minute mark, you know, we're going for a macro play, so we're going to have that from both sides of things. So I guess Twine has gone from like a 3 Reaper start into some macro madness, and we're going to hang out with these units as well, see what they do, see what they get up to. Is that a bunker going down? No, it's indeed a factory going down at the third. We decided to expand all the way down here. We're not going to really bother with what this is, which could be good if you wanted to turtle. If you really wanted to have a little turtle going on, you could set up a base here, and then you're funneling a little bit. They don't have to come in all... these rocks certainly will divide the flow of units towards your base. This Overlord still hanging out. When that starport comes down, it should be alright. Yeah, it's good. Yes, yeah, we have medivacs. Okay, so the Marines are on their way. The Marines are on the way. These Zerglings doing some decent scouting on the north part of the map, hiding out in the bush as well. I think level 2 centrifugal hooks for banelings. Yes, there is the baneling nest right there over on the natural, and 2 evo chambers. Great to see. So the upgrades are on their way for our Zerg, and it's going to be in some intense banelings. I love banelings. They're going to be messy. It's going to be very messy, and the push from these Hellbats are on their way in. Twine could be in trouble. Or then again, he could not be, because the banelings are just going to totally destroy this small force. Backed up with the medivacs, but we're actually going to get a queen out of this. Yeah. Ooh. To lose a queen at this point isn't such a big deal, but these banelings are actually going to destroy most of these units, yes, unless they can get carried away. They get carried away really well. Good job. And they're not going to die. They're not going to die. They're going to live another day, and then probably die sometime tomorrow. And the lair, yes, the lair is certainly here. Here is a macro hatch. So yeah, this is going to be an incredible macro game. And Drain Claws, I believe that is for the Widow Mines. Yes, that would be for our Widow Mines. And these must be barracks. Yes, we have more barracks on the way. So the push coming in from the north. Obviously going to see a scan put down for these creeper tumors. Yes, we are. There it goes. And the Muters are just hanging around. They're not going to be doing so much. They just want to kind of scare our Terran player with their wings everywhere. I just want to hang on a sec. I'm going to pause the replay. Is my volume too high? Just going to turn that down a bit. 15? Does 15 work? Does 15 work? Is that a lot better? Is that better? Hang on, let's turn it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay. So yeah, not quite enough Mutalisks to be really formidable, but these Banelings are definitely putting down the damage. Medivacs aren't quite enough to heal through these Marines. We have the Stim going down as well, so these are some very weak Marines at the moment. Just looking for some Banelings to come in, and just one would be enough to really destroy this force. Zergling's not quite getting in there fast enough. That's enough. Yeah, that's very good. That's a very good amount of Medivacs to see. How many units do we have on the field? We have all these Marines. Look at this big conga line. And actually, I did miss this engagement on the natural, and eLazer got to see the Thor. Not that that should be a huge surprise, but Thors on the field are a big deal. Zerglings in the base taking out the SCVs. How many units are we looking at? Crikey, check it out. Looking at 6.5k resource loss. So there's a 3k difference between our two teams at the moment. Well, between our two players, I should say, at the moment. Look at this. Look at the amount of Medivacs. It's like a fleet of Medivacs coming in with the backup of the units below them. This is great to see. The Thor getting in on the Overlord there, and they've got Overlord speed. Nice. It's good to see that. Some people don't even bother with that, so good to see Overlord speed. It's very nice. And these Zerglings are going to come up and have a poke on Twine's third, and they're actually completely free to go. They could get in there, and now would be a very good time. I can't see anything that would stop them doing that. Scans going down, the creep tuners going up in the air, getting popped. Mutalisks, it could be a bad place for them as those Thors and the Marines. It's going to ruin them. It's going to absolutely destroy them. We want to see Broodlords, really. We want to see Infestors to get on these few Thors. It could be absolutely lethal. So let's get back into the unit production tab. What do we have? The upgrades are certainly on the way, and it's only Zerglings that I'm seeing from eLazer. So and more Mutalisks. So I mean, is it really what we want? Do we want to see more caster units from eLazer? Certainly, I would have to say yes. But it's going to take a bit more than a decent Infestor to really pull the win through with this game. I want to see something crazy like some worms. Overlord drops would be, I mean, that is certainly something you don't see every day, the Overlord drops. But, I mean, am I hoping for too much? Possibly. Possibly doing that. But anyway, these Zerglings are still in the base, and they're taking out so many SCVs. We're probably going to see it. Still, I mean, it's gone beyond 3k now, the difference between resources. But it's clear to see that Twine has still lost a lot of minerals. He's certainly lost a lot of units with that, and he's going to spend time building those SCVs as opposed to what units he wants. Well, I should say minerals. But he's certainly going to lose time and resources building those units that have been stripped away from him. And these Marines are being very bold in taking on these Mutalisks. The creep spread is getting closer. It's going to deny this up in the middle for Twine. That's going to make it very difficult for him to get on board with that if this creep is allowed to reach that point. And highly mobile force with Twine. The Banelings, the Zerglings and the Mutalisks are highly mobile compared to the static approach from our Terran player with the Thors. Even though I mean, he does have the units, he does have the Marines that can run around, they've got the drops, but will we see siege tanks? Will we see more Widow Mines on the field? There's certainly 4 here, which is a very, very good place to be, because I can guarantee those Mutalisks are going to fly right over this cliff. I can see it. They're going to come. I haven't seen this replay, but I can bet they will come right over this and into those Widow Mines. And this could indeed be the engagement for this top part over here. Will eLazer hold on to it? Is the creep going to remain for the next few minutes? I don't know. If he wins this, or for whoever wins this, will they move on to take this expansion? Who knows? But it's going to play a big part for our teams. We are both ready for our maxing out of units. eLazer is a little bit behind with his Zerg. The swarm isn't quite at full form. And I'm getting Skype calls, guys. Getting Skype calls. Gonna have to deal with that. Yes, the Baneling's going off. I'm sorry I missed that, but the Thor is in a lot of trouble. Oh, that's not good. But the drops are coming down. I'm surprised that You actually did that. I'm very surprised about that. Maybe a little bit panicked there. Maybe he just wants to put out the DPS. Maybe he just wants to run for his life. With your Marines, I'm not so sure, buddy. But anyway, the Zerglings are poking away down here, so it's looking like eLazer would indeed take the win so far. But the blob is still here. I mean, this is a very firm location for eLazer. So long as these minerals remain, you're only going to have one way of entry, and that's from the top part here. You're going to have that up from here, and the creep has been pushed back. Will Twine be moving into that space up north? I'm not so sure. Looking at our production tab, let's bring that up. What do we have? We have more Banelings, and the hive is in production. Let's have a look at that beautiful thing. There we go. The hive is certainly pulsating away. Queen, good lava injects. Macro hatch. Will we see more macro hatches? I wonder. I would like to see that. Maxed out on gas. Good, good, good. Very nice to see. The mutalisks aren't quite as many as I would like to see. Also, the upgrades. Are we lagging behind on upgrades at this point in the game? We only have the 1+1 air attack. Ooh, makes me cringe a little bit to see that, and then witness all these units just parading across the top part of the map. Widow mines. Not really claiming ground. When you want to move forward with Terran, I'm sure you want to put down the Widow mines, move forward, pull them up, move forward, place them down. You're claiming ground there, but no, we're just going to go balls deep and kind of parade across the top section here, put down the Widow mines as and when we feel like it, abandoning this base up here in the top right. Oh boy, oh eLazer, it's not looking too great for you, but then again, at the same time, these Zerglings are not the most difficult thing in the world to counter, but they are going to be a pain in the butt to have to deal with Twine. But will it cost him, I mean, is it going to lose him the game? I'm not so sure. I mean, just look at this. The Marines, they're taking out everything. There's no base defense. The Zerglings are off to other things, and the main action is up here towards the mid-section of our map, mid-to-top section of the map here on the right side with these expansions. Marines dancing around with the green goo. So, maybe eLazer will hold on. Maybe he could snipe that medivac. He could snipe that, but then again, it would be difficult with these units. And, well, the GG was called. The GG was called regardless, even though we still have 1,000 resources for each side. Overlord right here was never found, was never ever discovered. Good placement here, was checking for those side drops. I guess this was horribly exposed as well. A drop here would have been lethal. Something I always check for when I'm a Terran player is to go for the sides. I always do it. So that's decent. At least there's something there on the mineral line. But okay, it's been a good game. Twined on very well, very solid build, and it's been enjoyable to actually cast this replay. I'm going to try and do one every day until I get better. I will get better with every replay I cast, so I actually invite you guys to send me more material. It doesn't strictly have to be StarCraft 2, but you can indeed send me some replays from CSGO, from League of Legends, and I will get on board and I will cast it for you, give you full credits, and you can watch it back and show all your friends how incredible you are. I am also on Twitch if you want to search for it is Eat Sleep Game Repeat, but on Twitch it's E_S_ no, it's Eat Sleep. I'm having trouble. There's an underscore between each letter. Okay, we have a letter, there's an underscore between each one. So I'm on Twitch, I will stream. I'm also thinking of a radio show for every weekend. So until then guys, do keep it real, stay steezy. Welicious out.